Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As we speak, there is a dogged debate raging across India over the Supreme Court's order yesterday that mandated a stray-free Delhi. All 10 lakh street dogs in the Delhi NCR region will have to be moved to shelter homes. The Rajasthan High Court has passed a similar order, though slightly less brutal. The question is, should the rest of India take the same approach? I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be easy. Dog lovers are a very passionate group, and as we speak, there is a legal and narrative pushback that is already underway. The face of this fight back are celebrities like John Abraham and Jahnvi and Varun Dhawan and Raveena Tandon. John, himself a pet parent, has written to the Chief Justice of India asking to reconsider their decision. He says these are not strays. He says these are community dogs who, like humans, are Delhiites too. Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi too have their claws out, calling the Supreme Court order cruel and short-sighted. The Gandhi siblings are saying that strays are not a problem that need to be removed. Now, essentially, ladies and gentlemen, the broad argument being made by animal lovers and celebrities today is this. They say the Supreme Court order is a virtual death sentence for dogs because right now the Delhi NCR region has 10 lakh dogs and shelters that can only take in 4,000. So right now there are shelters available only for 4,000 dogs. The total dog population in the Delhi NCR region is 10. Now the Supreme Court order, if it has to be implemented, will take time. It will take planning. It will take money. One estimate actually is saying that it could take anywhere upwards of 15,000 crore rupees. So they say, essentially, it is mission impossible. Secondly, dog lovers are saying that the order is against the ABC rules that mandates that strays are sterilized and released back into their locality. Listening to Maneka Gandhi, who is one of the prime movers in getting the ABC rules amended.
All it's going to do is to create a law and order situation. In the last 3 hours, we have received over 3.5 lakh emails from people in Delhi saying, "Hum to ladenge." Are we going to have fighting in this peaceful, beautiful city? So this is not implementable. See, it will cost the government over 15,000 crores to even make the shelters. Or if agar kabhi jagah mile, that is if they find a place to construct the shelters, it will cost them 5 crores a week just in feeding. Shelters are run privately. Government has never made a government shelter.
Okay, so the battle lines are drawn. There is the articulate and passionate dog battalion on one side, and then there is an army of angry citizens across this country who are simply fed up of strays and people who feed them. They say people who live in ivory towers can keep their opinions to themselves because they are out of touch with what the reality is. Ladies and gentlemen, the reality is this. There are 37 lakh dog bites in India annually. This figure is from 2024. It's the highest in the world. Most victims are elderly and children. And many dog attacks that we have seen are unprovoked. The Supreme Court order has been welcomed by RWAs across Delhi. It has also been welcomed by Karti Chidambaram, a Congress MP who's taking a stand opposed to his leader Rahul Gandhi.
We have more than 6 crore dogs in a free roaming state, which are unvaccinated and unneutered. This is a huge health and safety hazard. No country in the world has dogs in a free roaming state. Dogs obviously have a right to life, and they must be neutered, vaccinated, and moved to shelters, or people must adopt them. We can't have dogs in the street. And now the Supreme Court has stepped in because the situation is alarming, and perhaps their order is very severe. It can't be implemented in the short run, but this has definitely woken up all the stakeholders, and hopefully some middle ground will be reached.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court order is drastic. But did the court really have a choice, given that India's stray policy has completely gone to the dogs over the last 20 years? The Supreme Court has very clearly said that no sentiment of any nature should be involved in implementing their order. I can assure you, dear viewers, sentiments are running high on both sides. My question this evening is the Supreme Court order a death sentence or a dignified solution to a perennial problem? As we begin the debate, ladies and gentlemen, there is breaking news coming in from Bangalore University, where 2 students were attacked by strays this morning. One of them is critical and she continues to be in ICU. Let me go straight across to my colleague Neha Hebale, who is joining us on top of the show. Neha Hebale, good evening. Over to you. Could you tell us how the 2 girls are doing and how the Bangalore University has reacted to the incident?
Well, Shreya, on a day here when the Supreme Court, in fact, has, of course, asked for strays to be taken off the streets completely, here yet again in Bengaluru is an incident of where 2 students, they were attacked by strays. In fact, one of them, of course, while was said to be admitted to the ICU earlier, in fact, the other, of course, is said to be recuperating. Remember, of course, we're taking this conversation also across now to a few residents here who are joining us, who happen to, of course, stay in a locality here where there are several strays. Often at night, of course, when people are traveling, alone by themselves, it does happen to become a hazard very quickly. So I want to start by asking you, a very controversial topic here. While it's, to many very close to their hearts, the strays, it's not fair, is what they say, to take them off the streets completely. How do you see this order now that the Supreme Court has called in for?
See, there are reasons for this. There have been children mauled, old people mauled to death by the dogs. They chase people around. So there are many stories like that. So, in a way, this decision is good, but it has to be given its time. You have to neuter the dogs, you have to make shelters for them, give them that time to sort of come up to some standards for maintaining the dogs, then implement that over a period of time. It cannot be done overnight.
Yeah. So very quickly, I want to take in a question from you. Just today, there was an attack on 2 students in Bengaluru. A stray dog, in fact, attacked them. One of them is said to be in the ICU as well. A question that's arisen is, would this not now lead to mass killings of stray dogs in a bid to try and curtail them in these shelter homes? How do you see this decision of the Supreme Court?
See, the Supreme Court decision is most welcome. It is very just and most appropriate. The reasons are as follows. Number 1, stray dogs are creating menace. Even I am a dog lover. I have a pet at home also. But I am referring to the stray dogs. The children are mortally scared of them. The elderly people are scared of them. And even the road traffic, many accidents have taken place. Today only I was watching some channel in which they said there are 90,000 reported cases of dog bites in last 1 year. This decision is extremely good. And as the other gentleman has said, the court has given some, I think, 8 weeks or something like that. Yeah. They should take it on the war footing, provide a proper place so that, dogs get timely food, they get training, they can be vaccinated, neutered, all that. Sure. And I really welcome this decision.
Okay. Last question to you, as of course the youth of today, there's a lot of young actors who've come out and condemned this decision. They urged the Supreme Court to reverse it, saying that, it's an inhuman task. It's an impossible mission here to try and, fit 10 lakh street dogs in Delhi into shelters that don't have places. How do you see this decision?
So, I'm not completely against the Supreme Court, nor am I completely with them. I feel that proper vaccination and proper shelters have to be built first, proper precautions have to be taken, and then itself these kind of steps should be taken forward. I don't think, we always keep hearing about rabies and all that, but I feel once there are proper shelters built, proper NGOs taken place, then itself we can take these decisions.
Okay, so that is the view coming in from Bangalore. Let me also quickly get in a view from Delhi, for which the order has been passed. My colleague Shivam is there live with some citizens. Shivam, over to you.
Well, definitely, Shreya, from the starting of from yesterday, we have been trying to get in perspective, get an idea from the people of what they are going to say. In Delhi, it seems like there have become 2 different pools. One who understand this entire order and one who has been through the personal experiences, who have seen these kind of incidents and accidents happening, but the other people who are the animal activists, be the animal welfare, or the common people who are saying that there has been a coexistence that has been going on.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment, Shivam. Thank you very much for joining us. My guest this evening, Vijay Goyal, is a former MP, minister and social activist joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Goyal, thank you very much. We have Vivek Narayan Sharma, he's a senior lawyer joining us from the broadcast. Thank you very much. Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst. Geeta Seshamani, co-founder and Vice President of Friendicoes. And Divya Seth is an actress. She's joining us on the broadcast as well. Thank you very much. Since we've just heard from citizens, I'm going to yet another citizen, a dog lover, but the citizens that we heard from Bangalore said they were dog lovers as well. Divya Seth, they said they have pets at home, but pets are not strays. Pets are not pains. Pets are not a danger to their children. Pets are not a danger to their parents. We all understand that there are people with different points of view as far as the Supreme Court order is concerned. But how is the Supreme Court order unjust? The fact is that there was no other option. What was the option?
No, there was an original option, which is that every municipality in our country was given enough funding to neuter these dogs. There was supposed to be mass sterilization, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I have rescued 2 dogs whose ears were clipped, but they were pregnant. So the problem began over there. That's why there is this immense population of dogs, because they were not neutered responsibly. They have to be neutered and they have to be sterilized. Do you know what a superpower street dogs are? I have been rescuing them since I was a child. I have 5 outside, 5 in my house. They think your home is theirs to protect. They think your children are theirs to guard. All they ask for in return is a little bit of kindness and just a little bit of food. I understand this is with all due respect to all the people who are scared.
Oops, I think we've lost our connection with Divyaji. We'll go back to her. That is one point of view. Someone who loves strays, feeds them, adopts them. You're not scared of them, fine. But the fact is a majority of the people are. We've just spoken to some in Bangalore. Mr. Vijay Goyal, you may want to come in here. This was not a curated group of people that we picked for their points of view. This is the point of view on the streets. But there are, Mr. Goyal, many people, many activists actually, who are saying that this will be legally challenged because honestly, what the Supreme Court has done is give a death sentence to dogs, and that is something that is cruel and against the law. How do you counter that?
देखिए, आप प्रॉब्लम को समझिए जाकर। पहली बात तो ये मैनी एक्टिविस्ट नहीं है, फ्यू एक्टिविस्ट हैं सिर्फ। पर सवाल ये नहीं है, सवाल ये है कि कुत्तों से किसी को प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। वी ऑल आर एनिमल लवर्स। प्रॉब्लम जो है कुत्तों के काटने से है। जैसे पहले लॉटरी थी, पहले मल्टी डिजिट लॉटरी चलती थी तो बहुत कम लोग खेलते थे, पर जब सिंगल डिजिट लॉटरी हो गई तो घर घर में खेलनी पड़ गई, तो इसलिए उसको बैन कराना जरूरी हो गया। इसलिए पहले कुत्ते बहुत कम हुआ करते थे तो उनसे प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी। आज देश के अंदर 12 करोड़ आवारा कुत्ते हैं, स्ट्रे डॉग्स। आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट पेट डॉग्स। 12 करोड़ है। अकेली दिल्ली के अंदर 8 लाख से ज्यादा कुत्ते हैं। ये 8 लाख 60 लाख ना हो जाए, इसीलिए हमने स्ट्रे डॉग्स के बारे के अंदर 2 साल से मूवमेंट कर रहे हैं। प्रॉब्लम है उनके काटने से। हर रोज दिल्ली में 2000 लोगों को डॉग बाइट होती है। 2000 लोगों को, 2000 का मतलब हो गया 60,000 इन ए मंथ। और पूरे देश में हर स्टेट की यह प्रॉब्लम है। आज किसी भी एक भी RWI ले आइए जो कहे कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का डिसीजन गलत है तो मुझे बताना। सब लोग कह रहे हैं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का डिसीजन बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि उनको बच्चों को काट रहे हैं। लोगों ने पार्कों में सैर करना बंद कर दिया, बच्चों ने खेलना बंद कर दिया, तो ये जरूरी था कि क्या किया जाए। अब मुझे सिर्फ एक ही बात का जवाब दीजिए कि अगर ये कुत्ते इसी तरह से काटते रहे तो क्या हल होगा। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपने फैसले में 3 चीज कही है। पहला चीज, उन्होंने सबके सामने ये ला दिया कि स्ट्रे डॉग्स बिग प्रॉब्लम है, स्पेशली उनकी बाइटिंग बिग प्रॉब्लम्स है, इसलिए उन्होंने किया। दूसरी बात, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट का कोई पहला डिसीजन नहीं है, इससे पहले भी कई डिसीजन आ गए थे। तीसरी बात, ABC रूल्स गलत थे, उनको अमेंड करने के लिए RWA और हम सब लोग बहुत समय से मांग कर रहे हैं कि ABC रूल गलत है। पांचवी बात, अब ये जो एनिमल लवर्स अपने आप को कहते हैं, इनका जो प्यार है, ये इनका प्यार सिर्फ सड़क पर है, ये इनको घरों में गोद लेके नहीं जा रहे। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि इनको शेल्टर होम देंगे, क्योंकि जो कुत्ते सड़कों पे बेचारे घूम रहे हैं, बच्चे पैदा कर रहे हैं, मल्टीप्लाई हो रहे हैं, जिनको खाना टाइम से नहीं मिलता, मिलता, बचा हुआ खाना देते हैं, तो वो कहते हैं इनको शेल्टर होम में हम सुविधा देंगे। लास्ट पॉइंट मेरा, ये जो लोग कहते हैं ना कि अब फैसिलिटीज की, वो फैसिलिटी देखना गवर्नमेंट का काम है, और अगर गवर्नमेंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और फैसिलिटी नहीं दे पाई तो वो कोर्ट को अप्रोच करेगी कि हमें इतना टाइम और दे दीजिए। पर सीधा ये कह देना कि कुत्ते काटते रहें तो काटें, किंतु हम इनका कोई इलाज नहीं होने देंगे, बिकॉज वी आर डॉग लवर्स, वी आर ऑल्सो एनिमल लवर्स। और जो बात वो कुत्ते के बारे में कहते हैं वो उन जानवरों के बारे में नहीं कह रहे जिनको, जो नॉन वेजिटेरियन लोग हैं, जिनके साथ जो बिहेव कर रहे हैं। तो इसीलिए अगर आप देखेंगे तो एक तराजू में तुलना चाहिए, कुत्ता अलग नहीं तुलेगा जी।
Okay, Goel ji, I think I understand what you're trying to say. Tehseen Poonawalla, the fact is that the dog debate has divided India, right? It has divided India. Most RWAs that I know in Delhi, in Noida, in Gurgaon are actually applauding the order and saying musibat ban gayi hai. There was no way to get rid of it given the numbers that we are talking about, sheer numbers we were talking about. A drastic step was required. Only the Supreme Court could do this because 20 साल से तो municipality सो रही है, कुछ काम उन्होंने किया नहीं है, right? Now, one of the arguments I saw on social media is something that shocked me. A young lady supporting stray dogs says, what does this mean? Does it mean that when children attack dogs and once in a while those dogs die, that the streets of India should be rid of children as well? I mean, honestly, Tehseen, can we compare humans to dogs when it comes to choosing and picking? The fact is that human rights will come above animal rights.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for having me on the show. And as I always say, there is something called the horseshoe theory, where the rowdy right is equivalent to the loony left. So the woke is as crazy as the rowdy right. They're equally the same, they just think they're very different from each other. So yes, you have some crazy woke woman who says, oh, it's okay if children die. And then you have these people, for argument's sake, respected Vijay Goel ji says, oh, you're non-vegetarian, therefore how can you be an animal lover? Currently, I am vegan, but I think, I genuinely believe a lot of non-vegetarian people are a lot more compassionate, and we can go into the debate of that. That is not a debate in politicizing it. What is the issue? As a pet parent myself, who has 31 Indies who's adopted, I started off with 16. I neutered my Indies. I built a fence on the ground for them. They are vaccinated. They're sprayed, vaccinated, neutered. They have a vet looking after them. We feed them twice a day. We've integrated them in the community. But why have my Indies gone to 31? Because people dumped their dogs, so now we are at 31. We are 32. We lost one a few weeks ago. So we're at 31. People dumped their dogs. We've been responsible and we've integrated them in the community. So they walk with the senior citizens, they sit at the shops, they're with the security guards. They're part of the ecosystem and we have a separate area for them. Not a single child should be bit by a stray dog. Nobody should die of rabies, senior citizen, man, woman or child. Period. Human rights are paramount. But now, with respect to the Honorable Supreme Court, before whose majesty I always bow, can you tell me which municipal, and because Mr. Goel is here, for the 20 odd years, Delhi Municipal Corporation was run by one political party. Now it's another political party. Where has those crores of rupees of yours and mine gone to neuter those dogs? In case of my dogs, my 31 in Pune, I paid for it. This should be free. The government of India and state governments pay crores to vaccinate and neuter. Who's going to be held responsible? Now, please, just give me 10 seconds. Shreya, don't interrupt me. Now what they're saying is, oh, we will now build shelters. Great. You couldn't neuter a dog. You couldn't vaccinate. Now you're going to build shelters and you expect that the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party will not do corruption in that? Come on. What we are saying is once you are either pregnant or not pregnant, you can't be half pregnant. Once the shelters are ready, yes, you must have a policy. But you can't do it without anything haphazard, where you now start having people chasing these dogs. And this is not going to solve the problem. The problem is solved when you neuter these dogs, when you vaccinate them, when you feed them properly, all of which is paid for by government, but that never reaches them. In case of my 31 strays, which are in my property, they're sealed, they're part of the community, they never attack, they don't chase cars, they don't run, because they've integrated. Is it not their space also? Why can't we have a middle part? And therefore I say, as I end, the rowdy right and the loony left are equal to each other. They're more close to each other like the horseshoe than far.
Okay, so Vivek Narayan Sharma, before I get in Geeta Seshamani, I'll come to you with that question. Tehseen is asking, why can there not be a middle path? You know, it may be a matter of debate whether the Supreme Court overstepped its brief. The fact is, there is the ABC rules that are in place. The Supreme Court has yesterday told municipalities, forget about those rules. Those rules are absurd. ठीक है, चलो, that's the Supreme Court's point of view. But was the move a bit too drastic? Yes, the situation is out of control, but was the move a bit too drastic? Couldn't a middle path have been, have been taken? I don't know what that middle path is, by the way, because yes, the problem is so huge.
That's the problem, because today we are not aware what the middle path could be. See, the Supreme Court order is not a knee-jerk reaction at all. It's a well-thought-of order which has been given, and it is not a problem which is for today. It is a problem which is arising for last almost a decade. But now the problem, dogs are not the problem. It is the number, sheer number they are at today, which has become a problem. They are as a community of dogs, 20 dogs all together, standing together in the evening and night. People can't pass through that path. In all the colonies, in all the RWAs, why the RWAs are, they are supporting this decision, it is because of this reason. So now when we talk about the middle path, this is the middle path if we see it properly. Supreme Court has said that you make the shelter home and transfer those dogs. Put an onus on the governments, MCD, and then in Delhi, and then different, I am council, standing council for NDMC. So we have already, started doing those paths in the last 2 years.
Okay.
So, but the problem which is today, how we are perceiving this particular thing, dog lovers should come out to adopt these dogs when they are in the shelter home.
The Supreme Court
will be sorted out in coming time.
Vivek ji, the Supreme Court has said that once these dogs go to shelter homes and they could be vaccinated and neutered and all of that, they cannot be adopted. They cannot be re-released.
Why?
They cannot be adopted. So most dog lovers are saying that this is cruel. But can I just get in, Geeta ji? Geeta ji, your organization has been doing yeoman service as far as abandoned dogs are concerned. Look, you love dogs, right? And Divya loves dogs, and Tehseen loves dogs, and you have all adopted strays. It's very well. More power to you. But the fact is, not everyone is like you. Not everyone wants to adopt a stray. Not everyone wants to have strays hounding them and stalking them and their children and their elderly and biting them when they are out for a morning walk. You ask any RWA today, ma'am, they are applauding the order. There is a reason why they are applauding the order. Do you see that? Do you see their point of view as well? Ma'am, you'll have to unmute yourself.
There's no doubt that human rights and human welfare has to be given priority. But I think that we have forgotten that we have coexisted with street dogs. And I think the ABC rules did have all the answers and still has all the answers, but has not been implemented with the same will and strength that we are now showing now when we say that take the street dogs, incarcerate every single dog on the street, confine it, put it away into shelters, when we know that we cannot handle that. We know that that confinement only means disease and death and a very sad end for these street dogs. Why, if so much of a budget was available for us to spend crores on shelter houses, feeding them, exercising them, staffing them, suddenly this seems to be like the new magic solution to the street dog program. Where were those funds when the ABC rules was such a humane, scientific and an absolutely perfect solution to the problem? Where were those funds? Why were they not made available? We know how we have struggled to implement the ABC rules in this city, using our own funds. We've known the paucity of infrastructure, the paucity of funding. How come suddenly funds are available when it comes to eradicating street dogs from the streets? Where was this money? Why were more ABC centers not made? Why were there not vehicles out for vaccination and revaccination programs? Why everywhere where this program has been done consistently, in the areas that we've done it, there's been a huge reduction of the population. The actual problem, as Mr. Goyal has said, is the biting dog. The population has gone down and can go down with ABC. But the fact remains that dogs can have a temperament, can have trigger reactions to the environment. There is cruelty. Human beings are not angels. They do ill-treat dogs in the street. That's not an excuse. You will have a problem with biting dogs. But the ABC rules caters for that.
Ma'am, but
The
if the
ABC
ABC
rules has
were
a solution. No one is stopping you taking a biting dog out of the system. No one is saying that if a dog is a terror in an RWA, it should not be sent to a shelter for retraining, for taking care of.
Ma'am, how do you predict the dog will bite you or your kid tomorrow? Number one, how do I know that whether the dog has rabies or not?
You know, so far, please tell me, Shreya, dogs are still pets in so many communities. Are we all surrounded by tigers? Have they all suddenly become tigers overnight?
Ma'am, worse.
No, not at all.
You know, there is a difference. I'll tell you, there is a difference when your community dog were 2 dogs. Okay? When outside my housing complex, there were 2 dogs. One understood that. Maybe they were community dogs. Not 8 of them, ma'am. In packs, chasing you down, chasing your vehicle down, not ensuring that you can't come out for a walk because they get aggressive seeing people.
Where there was one family exuding garbage, you now 4 families living in the same space. You have buildings which are going up 4 floors. Delhi has expanded 100 times. Dogs have not expanded in relation to the human population, the human waste, the human garbage. Okay. Why are dogs being penalized only?
Shreya, can I make a point?
Why don't you instead use this budget, increase all your ABC centers?
If the ABC rules were so perfect,
let me finish my point.
Ma'am, if the ABC rules were so perfect, we won't have the problem we have right now. Divya, you want to come say something quickly? At 20 seconds, go ahead, please. I'm sorry we lost you in the middle. Yeah, go ahead.
No, like Geeta ji is saying that these funds were allocated, but they were not implemented. Obviously, they were filtered down the line and somebody else has pocketed that money. Because if you sterilize these dogs, they're not going to reproduce. And for every video you see, whether a child has been attacked or an older person is attacked, you don't see the 10 other videos where they're pelting these dogs with stones, hurling them. They're also going to defend themselves. I'm not saying, this is with all due respect to people who are scared of dogs. But please understand, you can't have a plastic society. Today it's dogs and pigeons. Tomorrow it'll be cats and other birds and badgers. We have to coexist. We have to find amiable solutions.
Okay.
Which you have never seen a dog being picked up for sterilization. It's so traumatic. You know what they're going to do to them if they have to pick up 20 at a time?
Divya ji,
they'll be clubbing them.
Divya ji, is there any data that tells us that sterilized dogs will not bite at all? Sterilization is the issue.
Sterilization is the issue of not reproducing. Vaccination is the issue of not getting rabies or distemper. And if you just feed them after they're sterilized, they will be calm.
Vijay ji, please, I'll let you have the last word. I have exactly 30 seconds. It's very clear that there will be a review petition that will be filed, right? That's very clear, I think. It became clear on the day the order was passed. What do you fear? Do you fear that the Supreme Court will do a U-turn?
नहीं, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट यू टर्न करेगी, पर ये जाहिर तौर पर बात है, जब गवर्नमेंट इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने में उनको दिक्कत रहेगी तो वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट को अप्रोच करेंगे. सपोज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उनको 8 वीक्स दिए हैं, तो गवर्नमेंट को लगता है नहीं 8 वीक्स नहीं होंगे, 2 साल होने चाहिए. तो गवर्नमेंट उनको कहेगी कि देखिए हमने इतने टाइम में इतना काम कर दिया है, तो हमारा जो इंटेंशंस है वो सारी ठीक है, हमारी विल पावर स्ट्रांग है, हमको ये टाइम और ये फैसिलिटीज क्रिएट करनी है, तो वो हो जाएगी. पर मैं सिर्फ लास्ट में एक क्वेश्चन करना चाहता हूं. मान लीजिए शेल्टर्स भी हों, फैसिलिटीज भी सारी हों, तब ये जो डॉग लवर्स कह रहे हैं, तब ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश को मानने को तैयार हैं क्या? तो मेरा जवाब होगा ये तब भी नहीं मानेंगे जी, क्योंकि इनको इस बात की चिंता नहीं है. जो एबीसी रूल्स हैं वो कहते हैं काटने वाले कुत्ते को भी आपको उसी लोकेलिटी में छोड़ना है जिसने काटा है, वो चाहे जितनी मर्जी बार काटते रहे. क्योंकि जब भी हमने बोला इस बारे में कि कम से कम काटने वाले कुत्तों को शेल्टर जाने दीजिए, तो मेरे सामने सारे ये डॉग लवर्स आ गए कि गोयल साहब एबीसी रूल पढ़ लो, तुमको वहीं छोड़ना पड़ेगा जी. इसलिए हम एबी रूल्स में चेंज की बात कर रहे थे. और मैं ये चाहता हूं, डॉग्स को सब लव करते हैं जी, हम भी करते थे बचपन से, पर उनकी संख्या एक बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है और उनकी काटने की संख्या उससे भी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. तो अगर आपने स्टरलाइजेशन का भी प्रोग्राम किया, तब भी 12 करोड़ कुत्ते तो आपके देश में यहीं रहेंगे ना, वो तो कहीं नहीं जाएंगे. इसलिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है टाइम टू टाइम गवर्नमेंट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट आपस में बात करके चीजों को और प्रैक्टिकल कर सकती हैं, पर इन लोगों ने तो अपोज ही करना है, चाहे सुप्रीम कोर्ट कोई भी ऑर्डर दे दे, जब तक ये नहीं देख लेंगे। और ये अडॉप्ट भी नहीं करते कुत्तों को, कहते हैं स्ट्रीट में ही फैले रहे, वहीं हमको खाना दे देंगे।
नहीं विजय जी, एक बात तो अच्छी है कि सिटीजन्स को हर ऑर्डर या सरकार का हो या सुप्रीम कोर्ट का हो, क्वेश्चन तो करना चाहिए। Questioning is the bedrock of any thriving democracy. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. I think we've got all points of views in. Vijay ji, thank you very much. Vivek Narayan, thank you. Tehseen, thank you very much. Geeta ji, thank you. And thank you to Divya Seth, who was joining us on the broadcast as well. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a break. There's news on the other side. Do stay with us.